What beauty have we got here then?
Well, here we have an Austin Landaulette, rare bit of kit with a division. 1932 or 4, I would imagine. I haven't checked the paperwork yet. Just this second come in, so it's caught me out. Just driven around the village. Drives magnificently, absolutely magnificently. Just, oh, can't speak highly enough of the car. And I must admit, when we have cars like this come in, this type of model, this type of condition, I'll be honest, I'll get emotional about it, because it's such a terrible, sad situation we find ourselves in, that we've unfortunately lost so many of our old vintage buyers through age. Natural wastage, I call it. It's not very nice, but it's a fact of life, which makes these cars that bit more difficult to sell, because we've got less buyers, and that reflects in the price. They are ludicrously cheap, ludicrously cheap. They are just unbelievably brilliant value for money. I'm not sure on the model. I'm going to check it out a bit later on. I think it could be called a Mayfair, but I'm not really too sure. It's such a rare example that I can't be expected to know the model of every 1930s car, but we think it's probably a Mayfair anyway. We'll check it out. But 6-cylinder, as you can see, got a division. So there are chauffeur's division in it. It's a Landaulette, as we said. So I mean, it's a beautiful wedding car, but wedding job's not what it used to be. People are unloading wedding cars, not buying them. But as you can see, it unclips and folds down. Oh, just magnificent for a Sunday afternoon. And these grabs, look at them. Look at them, beautiful. They're a work of art on their own. Occasionals here, look, beautiful occasionals. Fold up beautifully, out the way. In there, as you can see, that bit wrong, that comes out first. Look, nice and discreetly out the way, even down to the door pockets and the smoker's hatch. Look at this. Look at the room. Have a disco in here. Oh man, look at. I could go out for the day anywhere in this car, just anywhere down the road somewhere, and just sit and your people watch and talk to people. I mean, it's more comfortable than my front room. Honestly, I sit in a chair most nights watching the news that are nowhere near as comfortable as this. You know, I ought to move in here. Yeah, proper original glass. Look, a little bit of a crack on the glass, but it's fine. Smoker's hatch there, and it's just absolutely wonderful. I can see my old nan now in a car, not as grand as this, but a similar type of thing. No occasionals, nothing like that. A much smaller car, but hanging on to these as you're driving along. And the old people did, they just hung on to them. And it's just little pockets for your bits and pieces and your cigarette stuff and what have you. And just absolutely marvellous. Look at that, wind down window. I mean, the quality in this car. Austin were a wonderful manufacturer. They stayed with the old designs, you know, individual cylinders for years and years. Herbert Austin's staff begged him to modernise and change, and that he wouldn't. He kept his standards up, and the result is a car like this. It's just, I mean, it's Rolls-Royce, Bentley quality, isn't it? You know, a fraction of the price, and it hasn't got the I don't know, the stigma attached to the boss, if you like, turning up at his firm, you know, in a fancy Rolls-Royce or Bentley or whatever it might be, Gonda or whatever it might be. He's driving an Austin, a British Austin, supporting the British motor industry by buying an Austin or a Morris. Morris couldn't make a car like this. They could not compete. Morris wound up the market leader, if you like, although it was an amalgamation of giants rather than it was, you know, Morris sort of, you know, taking over or whatever. It wasn't really. Austin took over, and but Morris, with a great respect to them, they couldn't turn out a car like this. No way. This is the last proper quality Austin produced, I would have said. From here on, they went utility type vehicles, you know, price range vehicles. This is, you know, it's ostentatious to a degree, but affordable. Wonderful. And I would imagine it spent some of its life on wedding work, which is understandable, a working car. But that market's depleted now. Girls getting married at hotels, don't need cars, all that type of thing. Difficulty in running old cars by the younger generation, bearing in mind that the younger guy now that's doing wedding work doesn't understand these cars. So makes it very difficult. So it's causing a bit of a void there, and we're quite sad about it really. But what can I do? I'm old enough to witness 1910 cars going off the market, and other than 2 or 3 dealers in the country specialising in them, I suppose, in a smaller way. They're just tucked away somewhere. I don't know. You know, they went off the market. My story is I can remember them going off the market and never coming back on. And I'm afraid 1930s, 20s and 30s cars are going exactly the same way. Great pity. Value for money. So you guys out there are interested in a real piece of British motoring history, come and buy this car. It is wonderful and it drives beautiful.
Stunning cab.